President Trump speaking moments ago on USMCA, saying the deal is going very well, and he's heard that a lot of strides have been made with the unions and others as well. The president also hoping that it goes to a House vote soon. Meantime, we're watching stocks here moving sideways, slightly to the downside. The Dow is down 67 points. This is after a major rally on Friday following that blockbuster jobs report. We are moments away from the final hour of trade, and we're in the final trading weeks of the year. So what should investors be expecting? Let's ask Jason Rotman of Everplus Capital. Jason, great to see you. After that kind of move on Friday, I'm not surprised to see a 68-point sell-off. And as a matter of fact, with everything that's going on, weak data out of China, the IG report today, impeachment hearings moving forward, I would expect a little bit more of a severe drop.
Well, what to speak of, lest we forget, we have Christine Lagarde's first European Central Bank meeting on Thursday. We have the U.S. Central Bank meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. So the central bank meetings are arguably one of the top news events of this week. And the market's really ignoring that for the sake of focusing on this December 15th deadline. So I think, I don't necessarily expect a massive drop before these news events because traders are kind of just squaring their recent profitable positions buying that dip before the jobs report.
Well, let me ask you this. Last December, you remember the Fed, its final cut sort of sent the markets into a bit of turmoil. I don't think we're going to hear about a cut. The market's expecting a pause right now. But what about if this tariff deadline passes on the 15th and tariffs do in fact go through? Could that cause a drop?
High likelihood that will cause a drop. I mean, people need to understand the S&P 500 futures, which a lot of pros look at since they're the 24-hour version of the stock market. 3150. We could not breach 3150 last week. We're not able to breach 3150 today. That's kind of a psychological level, halfway between 0 and 100. As silly it is, that is very important in traders' minds. So I'm actually calling a top. I'm not a negative guy, but I am calling a top at 3150 at least through the end of the year. I think the ECB could surprise the market and become much more hawkish, which they've already talked about.
All right. Well, we're looking at USMCA, some positive news, at least in terms of the strides being made on that front. Possibly some positive news when it comes to a China trade deal. If you get both of those before, or that phase one deal before the end of the year, could this market skyrocket up again?
Okay, well, now you got me. I think it could if listen, in this perfect Goldilocks scenario where U.S., China, Canada, Mexico, everybody shakes hands, does a dance, and there's no more trade war within the next 7 days, yeah, I think you would see some knee-jerk buying, yes.